You're good whenever.
I will be talking to Mary Lindow. She is the manager at Hard Rock Cafe at Mall of America, and she is expecting wants a big splash made for her grand opening this coming August. Hi, Mary. How you doing? Good. Wow, the store looks amazing. I can't imagine. I can't believe how far it's come in 3 weeks. You must be really, really excited. Great, great. Well, I won't take more than 30 to 45 minutes of your time, which we had talked about. I am here to share ideas that we had talked about a couple weeks ago on how I've helped other Mall of America clients and really hoping I can help you as well. And so as far as the agenda today, I really just wanted to kind of ask a few questions to make sure I'm still on the right track, nothing's changed, really looking at that ideal customer and bringing my 3 creative solutions to you to talk about and really next steps after that. Great, great. So really the first couple questions I have for you is, in addition to you, who else is making the marketing decisions? Oh, okay, John, and he's in Florida. He's in training and he'll be back this weekend. Great, well, we'll definitely have to get in front of him. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months? Okay, you want to be known as a family restaurant with great music and live events. Awesome, great food, of course. Okay, good to know. How urgent is this specific initiative to you? Really important, because corporate is looking at this worldwide, thinking that this is one of the most important openings in the world. Okay, got it. And if you could make a big splash, the big splash that we've talked about for the last couple weeks, what's that going to allow you to do in the future? Great. Well, I like that. Using Leslie Bacig and using her ideas in radio on a more consistent basis. Well, I love that. Based on what you've shared with me, I'm really confident that the 3 ideas that we're going to talk about here in a second, iHeartRadio, the KFAN broadcast sponsorship at the Minnesota State Fair, and the Chris Hockey endorsement, those 3 ideas are going to give you the results that you're looking for. iHeartRadio is, and I know you're familiar with iHeartRadio, is an extension of the KFAN brand. Do you know that every time you use iHeartRadio, you are taking your existing radio schedule and increasing that advantage by 29%, by making it 29% more of an impact on that KFAN listener, that P1 listener. River Falls is a college. They had a campaign a few months ago, and they needed to fill open house seats, and they did. In fact, the campaign was a tremendous success. They filled all the seats. In fact, they're coming back this fall to do another Only iHeartRadio campaign. Is this something that you may be interested in? Okay, great. KFAN broadcast sponsorship at the Minnesota State Fair. KFAN is out there 12 days. 12 days during the Minnesota State Fair, we broadcast, throughout the 12 days. And the idea of being a broadcast sponsor is you're going to get hundreds of live mentions at the Minnesota State Fair talking about your grand opening. But you had also mentioned that you have 10,000 fans that you want to get into State Fair goers' hands. And how can we do that? Well, we can do that. Century College last year at the Minnesota State Fair made lip balm. And that lip balm got into the State Fair goers' hands, and they were thrilled. But it makes sense. Lip balm at the State Fair, fans at the Minnesota State Fair, it's a great partnership. Is that something that you'd be interested in? Okay, awesome. Chris Hockey has a huge following here in Minneapolis and on KFAN. He has 200,000 listeners that are passionate listeners every week in his morning show, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And talk about making a big splash, the big splash that you want. He is a passionate hard rock fan. I know he made a testimonial a couple weeks ago, and you know that he's traveled around the world, into Greece, into Spain and London. He's gone to Hard Rock Cafe. He made a joke that if there's a Hard Rock Cafe in the world, he's going to go to it. So he's passionate about your brand. Wedding Day Diamonds, a store right here in the mall, you're familiar with them? Okay, great. He has worked with them for 3 years, and they love him because he's passionate about their brand. He changes copy up whenever they want, and he's really, really a great spokesperson for them. In addition, he wants to be a great spokesperson for you. So is that something that you'd be interested in? Okay, we went over 3 great ideas. Do you have any thoughts, any objections?
I like what you shared with me, but I don't want the iHeartRadio part of your proposal because it just, I feel like that money is better spent elsewhere.
Okay, well, tell me why you don't like iHeartRadio.
It's just, I feel like if we use those same dollars that you have in that part of it against the on-air schedule, we could have more spots with, say, Chris Hockey.
Okay, I understand your concern, and trying something new is sometimes a little scary. However, you've got to remember that you're missing that audience, that audience, that P1 listener. If you're just using radio, you're missing almost 30% of an audience. And it's really important to get the passionate people of KFAN. Would you agree?
I agree. I see what you're saying.
In addition, is there anything else that you're concerned about?
Well, not really concerned, but in order to go forward on any of this, John's really going to have to review it. But in the end, I'm going to make the final decision.
Okay, well, we can easily get this into his hands. If I can come back and meet your concerns about iHeart, because it sounds like that's really the question or the concern that you have. If we can come to an agreement on iHeart, are these ideas something you want to move forward with?
Absolutely, I love it.
Okay, great, because I know you really wanted to make a big splash, and you wanted to make a big splash with your grand opening. By using iHeartRadio, by using the State Fair sponsorship, by using Chris Hockey as an endorser, would you agree that these ideas are really going to do what you want them to do and accomplish your goal?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Why don't we bring Chris Hockey in later this week? You know, he is so excited to get in here. He would love to see the space, would love to learn about the memorabilia, and would love to talk to you and the other managers to really start getting his copy points down so he can come back to you with some great copy. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay. Hey, you know what, Mary? I'm thrilled that the campaign has worked as well. I know that corporate is looking upon you guys as rock stars, and that's awesome. I have noticed that there's a store down the block here at Mall of America that's opening. I don't even know what the store is. Do you happen to know any of the managers there? I was hoping that because we've had such good success that maybe you could refer me to somebody in that store so I could help them as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mary.